Facebook image. Are you tired still?
A little.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are you? So funny. Some of you don't know this, but when I click the button go live, most of the time we haven't even talked yet in the morning. So when I say we're having coffee conversation, y'all are actually joining us for our first cup of coffee in the morning. And you hear Athena, our puppy? Oh, she's a hot mess. So if you're joining us for the very first time, all apologies in advance. Do you feel like you can just scooch a little closer to me? I'm surprised we can even get online. But anyhow, so we have coffee with y'all, friends and family, every day.
Sure.
Not every day, every week. Yeah. Generally on Sunday and for whatever
morning.
And we just kind of go over our week and chit chat with each other. I have nothing planned last week, and we normally don't. Last week we discussed construction cost and the rising cost of construction, all the little tips and tricks of how to save on that. If you missed it, look for last April, which was the 11th. We actually talked for an hour. We had a lot of good little, what they call them, nuggets, gold nuggets. Isn't that what Doug calls everything?
Yeah, well,
gold nuggets, little gems of information. Anyhow, I kind of was hoping to say this week, oh, we got our shower done. We do have the tile in the floor, and I think I forgot to finish my intro. Anyways, we live off grid here in the mountains of East Tennessee, and the build of our home was documented on a series called Building Off the Grid. It's on History Channel and Discovery. The follow-up should be on soon. Why is that not on yet? We filmed it a year ago. And it's like, where are they now? Well, it should be, where are they now because it's been a year since we filmed it. They keep waiting.
They should have stayed with us for about 10 years. And I mean, we'd have a nice series of building our house.
Stars. I know.
That's how long it's going to take to finish it.
No, yeah, they should have said building off the grid for right now, the temporary build.
Yeah.
No, we're in it. Have you seen the show and you're like, oh, there's no way they could live in it?
We're in it.
Yeah, we're in it. We haven't changed a whole lot.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so a lot of people like to talk about moving off grid or homesteading, and we wanted to share our journey because it was the first for us, and we don't know anybody here, and we just moved here, and we don't have no family here. So I'm like, I know, we'll have morning videos, and I can talk to my friends and share what we're going through, and it just kind of kept going. So here we are. 3 years later. It's actually been almost a 3-year anniversary. So it's our 3-year anniversary for Tennessee. Yesterday was our 3-year anniversary for this property. Did you know that?
I don't keep up with that stuff.
For this property. And then, wait. There's another little anniversary coming up. The 28th, which is in a week from Tuesday, it will be our 2-year anniversary here in our home.
All I know is 99.99.
That's our wedding anniversary. And I picked that day on purpose. It was like a Thursday, but I wanted a date he would never forget, and he hasn't forgotten it. He hasn't really gone out of his way to celebrate it, but he had forgotten it. Anyhow, so we haven't had a busy construction week.
We've been on the road.
On the stinking road. Some people like leaving their house. Some people like, I have a friend, I'm not going to say any names because she joins us for coffee. I think staying at home would probably drive her batty. She's just a very energetic, hyper doer. And she is on that. It doesn't seem to bother her being on the road nonstop. I couldn't do it. It was maybe younger, maybe a different time. Not now. I got too much to do here.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't create stuff to do, there's plenty out there to do because of the parks and, you know.
What are you talking about?
National.
I'm talking about what? We're not connected at all right now. I'm talking about being busy, staying on the road. He's talking about visiting national parks. You jump into the end of the story. Let's start at the beginning of the week. Sunday. Let's talk about last time we talked.
A lot of people are on the go. They have things that they do, have to do, and getting out and all. But there's so much that you can do just to relax and go places and enjoy the parks. So.
You know where I relax? At home. No, what he's saying is we live next to a very beautiful area. So if you wanted to be entertained, you are not in short supply of things that you could do. But we'll talk about the national parks in a minute. Can we talk about our week?
Yeah.
Do you even know what we did this week?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I think wait. Didn't we start out with hang on, y'all, I got it written down. Well, Monday we went to town. I shipped Tammy's products that she ordered on Monday.
I remember that.
Remember we were hurrying up and running around?
Yeah, and we missed it.
We missed the post office because they closed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then they're closed for lunch. These postal service workers here haven't made. And then they close every holiday and on the weekends too. So then we had to go to a UPS store, but we went out that night. Where did we eat? It was a Monday. Everything's closed on Mondays here too. No, he was closed. Anyhow, and then Tuesday we got ready for the interview when they came. Everybody came here Tuesday. Don't you remember?
Yeah, I remember that. I wasn't going to say anything because.
Well, no, you were asking about your week.
Mom's the word.
And then on Wednesday, of course, we had Lyndon's dance class and everything, but we left that morning and we went somewhere and we came back just for a little bit of time to do her dance class. Do you remember? I have the nature class. Duh. Wednesday, we had the nature class. So I joined a new Facebook group. It just started forming. A nice young couple moved here from Nevada, and they were doing what we did. The husband felt that God put it on his heart to pack up his family, move to the mountains, and leave the city life behind. And here they are. So, anyways, they use this program now. For the life of me, can't remember what it is, but it's using nature to teach your children the core classes. And so they wanted to do a meetup. We met up at the National State Park, the Smoky Mountain National Forest in Cosby. I didn't even know this park was there. It was amazing. They had a little trail called the Storybook Trail. They said it was little, it was 2 miles. Mile there and a mile back, it's not bad. And and they had the scenes from the story in all the parts of nature. And it was absolutely gorgeous. And I told Timmy all about it. So much so that I said, we've got to go back. And that was Wednesday. And Thursday, we had to leave at 6 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning. What did we go do Thursday? Seriously? What the heck? Why did we leave at 5:30 in the morning, Timmy? Drink some more coffee. Your brain ain't working. You can't talk about that either? We got 100,000 of them outside.
100,000 bees. We flew them in.
On little itty bitty airplanes. What is wrong with you? So anyhow, I hate having to be gone. Yeah, you and me too, Tammy. Because so every time we left, you guys know that we have that little puppy. She's not little. Her name's Athena. She's a Great Pyrenees. She's a livestock guardian dog. We still have her in the house. We have not transitioned to the outside portion of her training yet. And when we left, we we have to keep her locked up. So we'll put her in the bathhouse. There ain't nothing she can run in the bathhouse at all.
But the floor.
No, the very first time, the bathhouse is on its own solar system. What did she do when we got home?
Shoot up all the solar wires.
All of the solar wires to the battery, and then a whole roll of toilet paper. And then she pooed on her pad, but then she rolled in it. And that was the first time.
Yeah. She pooped on her pad and then drug it across the floor. And
Excuse me. So she has caused a bunch of lack of sleep. She gets up less than he does to go to the bathroom. But she chews on everything and she loves wires. And yesterday we introduced her to Aslan. And Sadie doesn't want nothing to do with her. But Aslan, he's a little interested. You can see his tail waggling. He thinks he's got a little playmate. So I'm not quite sure when we're going to start transitioning her outside, but it won't be long. Yesterday, I was like, no, the day before yesterday, I said, she's making me miserable. I can't get any work done. I have to stay right there with her. Otherwise, she pees or poops on the floor, and it's a pain, even though we got a little pad down to take her outside. So anyhow, we went and got the bees, and that was a 5-hour round trip drive. And we got home, and Timmy suited up, and I was out there filming, and then what happened?
And I opened took the top off of the bees.
They were not happy.
And they were angry.
They were mad.
They instantly went to Amber's hair. She wasn't even around the hive.
Well, I was close enough to film, but that was about it.
They flew into her hair.
They all got tangled in my hair.
And she got, I think, panicked.
No, I was running like that. I couldn't see because I'm trying to get them out of my hair. And I'm running away because the last thing you want is to get stung by a bunch of bees on your head and your face and your ear and your eye. So I'm also closing my eyes because I don't want them to go in my eyeballs, right?
So we just gotten a delivery of 10 that was laying, off to the side. And I think when she was walking, trying to get the bees out of her hair, she tripped over it and fell into it and got a nice little gash on her nose and her lip. And I
told my brother I fall like a drunk fat man. I'm taking everything out with me. I was just like, my face hurt so bad from falling in the dirt. I thought that I knocked my front teeth out because there was just blood pouring down on my face. And he couldn't come and help me because he had his hands full of bees. So I'm yelling for Lyndon. And praise God, it wasn't worse because that tin is so stinking sharp. And I fell right on it. It kept me from here to here. Doesn't it look better? You can still see the cut, but I got my mouth is still scratched and stuff. But it was so much better than it could have been. But that's just that acute reminder of how far we are away from help. Like when we lived in Polly's, 17 minutes from our door to the emergency door. I know that for a fact. And the kids had sports there. So we drove it all the time. And I always knew it was 17 minutes from our door to the hospital. And that was the good hospital. There was also probably 20 minutes to the other hospital that we didn't like to go to. But we were just close to everything. Here, shit, you better hope you know what you're doing because you're going to die before you get help. And that's not a lie. There's no way if you had a severe emergency that any help could get to you in time.
Yeah.
Good. So that's just something that we have to take into consideration that I think that you don't think about when you're like, hey, I want to move to the country.
Yeah, when you don't have any neighbors and your
cell phone don't work.
Cell phone doesn't work.
People can't find you. GPS don't work out here. Getting the emergency crew to here is one thing. Up the mountain is the other. And then actually to the hospital is the last. So I'm sure these crew, the emergency workers here, have to perform a lot of triage that they generally probably wouldn't have to perform as much if they had a hospital facility close by. But I don't want everyone to have to test that theory out. It could have been anyway. So it could have been a lot worse. Bees are happy. Matter of fact, we need to check on them today. Give them a couple days, not mess with them, and then you go back in and make sure that they're doing what they're doing. That's kind of where we have to do today. But then yesterday, it's just been nonstop. I gotta say, you all right? Then yesterday, we sold some of our goats, and this was our first time selling goats. And they were 2 members of our group, so I was really happy about that. And it happened so quickly, and I was so wrapped up in the business portion of it. I forgot to give my proper goodbyes to Willow, and then I felt bad last night. And then I texted Christina. I'm like, how's Willow? I feel bad. So she sent me pictures, and then Gilligan's new mom sent me a video of him, and they got just a beautiful new home. And that's just part of this life, though. And but it's nice. We're helping other people that have really wanted baby goats or really wanted Nigerian dwarfs. We're making money. We're reducing our herd, so it'll help reduce some of our feed costs. And that's all a part of the sustainable living that we're trying to accomplish. Um, so that's where we're at now, right?
Yeah.
So you have goals this week. We've got some beautiful week ahead. What do you have that you want to get accomplished?
Well, there's so much. I feel like I'm getting pulled in,
Well, you're not going to be leaving with me for a while, so don't worry about
different
that.
directions. And when you have a variety of things to do, it's hard to
Focus.
focus on one thing and try to get it finished. And even if you know you're not going to get it finished, I mean, right now, because
Well, Timmy has a problem. He has things that he wants to do, and he has things that he should do.
yeah,
And generally, he doesn't want to do the things that he should do because he likes doing the things that he wants to do. Mind you, they're still work. They're not play. They're still work. But you know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
It's like I want to crochet. That's work. I make money off of it, but it's not what I should do. It's what I want to do. So I can't right now, and that's fine. But things that I should do, are take care of the animals, right? Do Lyndon's homeschooling, do our dinner, and wash the dishes, take care of Athena, those types of things. The non-fun things.
Yeah, I need to.
So what is it that you're wanting
I
to
need
do?
to take these things into a more
Practical?
yeah, like listening to God. If you know the things that need to be done, and you're listening to God, then you shouldn't have any problem, getting those done. But we want to do what we want to do, don't we?
Yeah, we do. So are you talking about painting? Is that what you're referring to?
I'm thinking about trying to do the stuff that you can't do up on the roof and on the ladder.
Did you hear him say that? The things that I can't do.
Well, she don't like to get on the ladder.
I don't want to do it. I could do it. I don't want to do it. It scares me now that I'm older. And that is heights. So just there. I used to paint. I started the painting business before Timmy joined me. And I used to climb that 40-foot ladder, roofs and everything, and I was completely fine. And then he started, when we got together and worked as a team, he'd take the high stuff and I'd take the low stuff, and I was completely fine with that. Well, the older I have gotten, the less I like to climb that 40-foot ladder. I'll get halfway up to that 20-foot mark. That's it. I'm done. I'm tapping out. And that he's my little monkey, and he doesn't like it, but he does it.
If I hadn't met Amber, I wouldn't realize that there are really nice paintbrushes that you can buy, and you can really paint well with them. Because when we would paint the tugs every year, Captain Morgan always made
about the crap brushes.
Get those little cheap
Bobo throwaways.
Yeah, those little 50-cent paintbrushes, and we're trying to trim in with those.
You know that saying, it's not the brush, it's the artist. That's that's horse fucky. Yeah. The brush, the brush makes all the difference in the world. But anyhow, so we have things like where Timmy, we're painting the house. I don't know if y'all saw some pictures. We're doing that for triple fold. We are doing it for aesthetics because the house is ugly in its current state. We are doing that to seal the wood because we used green lumber. It had to dry out slowly. We put black stain on it. I did because I thought I saw a house in the country. It was like this dark charcoal, gray, black color, and white trim and red doors, and it was just gorgeous. And I'm like, that's what I want our house to look like. And it was gorgeous conceptually, but in reality, it just didn't work. The black sucked the heat and the sun to it. The house heated up. We don't have air conditioner. It was a horrible decision, and it caused our wood to dry out way too quick, and it split. So we need to seal our wood because now it is dry. And the splits and cracks that it has gotten are the perfect invitation for bugs to come in our house and hot air to come in, cold air to come in. So we need to seal it. And the third reason is for passive solar energy and to help keep our home cooler. So, for instance, if you want to paint, if you paint your roof, if you got a tin roof, and people I think are even painting the shingles anymore these days, but there is a cool seal that you put on it, and it's white, and it will reduce your roof temperature by up to 20 degrees. So that is 20 degrees is a huge difference when you don't have air conditioning, or even when you do. But so those are the things that we want to do, but there are also things that we have to do.
Yeah, I think those are actually smart decisions, and especially with the roof. It takes a lot of heat that gets generated. You know, instead of drawing that heat into your roof, it will reflect most of it. So instead of it being hot, it'll just be probably warm.
It'll still be hot. It'll just be 20 degrees less hot.
No, I've been on roofs that were white.
Okay, and they were cool.
They don't.
They're
not cool, but they're not
burning. So anyhow, the house painting started, and we paused the tile in the bathroom. We paused the whole bathroom because Jimmy's like, "We need to do this." I'm like, "Okay, if it makes you happy, that's what we'll do, and we'll save the bathroom for rain days." However, now that we're painting the house, and this is how we work, y'all. I've always said live things first, right? Live things first. I don't care what's on your plate. Live things first, either man or beast. And we have rabbits that are ready to move, that are ready to be adopted. And Snow, God bless her, gave birth to 9. And those rabbits are getting bigger, and we need to sell them or harvest them. And they need their colony area finished. So that's kind of where my train of thought is this week. His is on painting. Mine's on rabbits. Excuse me.
Well, I think with that, yeah, that is important.
Poor Snow, she's laying there, and all those bunnies are just jumping on top of her, and they're like half her size now. She's poor thing.
So I guess I'll be working on the rabbit colony.
Why would you ever say that? But see, this is what I deal with, though. When he's working on something that he has to do versus what he wants to do, he's not a happy camper. He's not fun to be around. He don't make jokes. He walks around. Y'all have one of those in your life?
Huffing and puffing.
Huffing and puffing. But that's this life. There's a lot of things that we don't want to do, like the compost toilets or chopping wood all day or hauling water. You know what I'm saying? And then every time he gets on it, it gets on his nerves. He's like, "I know I chose this life, but blah, blah, blah." It's not all rainbows and unicorns, baby.
I think God chose it to humble me.
How's that working?
That's between me and him.
Oh, one of the cool things though this week when we went on our nature walk, here's how God works, and it was so incredible. Is we met this young couple, and they were in charge of organizing the group. And I started talking to them. Only been here a month. They have a little girl, 5 years old, I want to say, maybe 6. I think she's 5. Anyhow, they homeschool her, and the wife works. And I was talking to the husband, and they're very into nature. And he started sharing his testimony, just an amazing testimony. And I'm like, I really would love for you to meet my husband. I think the two of you would just hit it off. And because God kind of moved in both of their lives the same way. Just they had a life established, family established, and then God just pressed on their heart to take their family with. And I'm talking about, he did it with me. And so anyhow, so we take Lyndon. We had a bunch of things to do. We had to do the goats. We came home. It was kind of cold. It was drizzly yesterday. And I said, I really want to go on that nature walk. And Timmy's like, it's raining. I said, it's the perfect time. No one will be there. And outside in the rain. And I said, I want Lyndon to meet the author. There's this really neat book. It was a Salamander's Ball, right? Mm-hmm. And then the name of it. And through the nature trail, there's just parts of the book that they have. And then you can read the book as you're going through this trail in the national forest. So anyways, we're about halfway through, and it's just us. It's just 3 of us. I mean, the rangers came through and talked to us a little bit, but it was amazing. First of all, weren't you blown away how beautiful it was?
Yeah, a lot of big old
Huge.
trees. The root systems, are just amazing. How a tree will just grow out of the ground and sit on top of the roots.
Oh yeah, have you guys ever seen that? A tree that's growing and the root system is above. Like you could have air underneath the roots, and you could see them, and then the tree was above that. It was the weirdest, neatest thing. I took some pictures, but I don't know if they captured it fully.
Beautiful, rock streams flowing, and just
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
So we're halfway through the trail, and there's this felled birch tree, and they said they left it there for kids to climb on and over. And I decided I wanted to sit down and take a break. So we're sitting down and we're talking. Who pops up but that man and his daughter? Just crazy. Yeah. We hadn't even talked since we all first met. Not at all. And to show up at the exact same time on the trail at the exact same moment on a drizzly day, it was a God thing. So him and Timmy hit it off really, really well. And the girls played like crazy. And anyways, they decided to start getting together to do a men's Bible study. And they started sharing their testimony with each other. I can't wait to see what God has in store.
Yes. It's really nice to meet someone,
it's like-minded,
fresh. They're on fire, and
and that inspiring.
Sharing a testimony, and it's just it makes me feel good, and it makes me want to dig in a little deeper. So
you got to dig a little deeper.
Yeah, anytime you get inspired like that,
Tiana
take advantage of it, and you're going to walk away with something that's just so valuable, and hopefully you can spread it, and be a part of what God has planned for you. So
well, things don't. There is no accidents in life, y'all. No. Just in case if you're one of those people that's like, oh, it's fate, it's karma, it's this. There are no accidents in life. If something happens in your life, it's intentional. It's for a reason. And Carrie said it best to us in her cousin Sonia the other day. They have a store that we sell our products at, and they said we look at for every customer that comes through our door, we know one of two things. They're either here for us or we're there here for them, one or the other, or mutual. But that's how, and I just think it's amazing. And so yeah, it was. I'm glad we left yesterday. I'm glad we went, and I look forward to seeing how God's going to move in both of their lives. But it's refreshing too in this day and age to meet somebody who's completely comfortable and embracing you, shaking your hand, getting close and talking, getting excited on fire for the Lord, have so many common things. And not only that, but have a common desire to want to reach out and help others. Mm-hmm. And the mainstream media makes all of that feel like that's a dying breed, like that whole concept is extinct. I don't think it is. I just don't think that our voices are being heard, and we're privy to how many people feel the exact same way. And that's where we need to go out and just find them. Can't find them online most of the time. I mean, y'all are the same way, but you're not here with us. We need here with us. So anyhow, we got a lot going on. And I know everybody does. It's growing season. I hadn't even thought about, since my little garden got destroyed, I hadn't even thought about growing food. I got 20 pounds of seed potatoes in the pantry I need to get in the ground.
Well, we can put some potatoes in the ground and get some potatoes, tomatoes, and cucumbers.
Oh, shoot.
Maybe some squash. And
you know what we need to get this week? We do need to leave the house. Well, I need a truckload of compost.
Well, there you go.
Our county has free compost, and it's organic compost, because our county in Pigeon Forge, they have the top award winning recycling compost center in the United States. Like, other places come here to see their program and how they do it. And then they offer free compost to anybody that's willing to come and get it. They would deliver, but they said they're short staffed like everybody else. So we need to build our soil. And that's one of our,
yeah, it's really
No,
Good.
we asked for wet last time. Don't get
Yeah.
wet.
The
It's so high in nitrogen.
yeah, they have dry. They have
We got to get dry this
medium,
time.
and the wet stuff. You better hold your nose, buddy, and it will burn your eyes.
It will burn
too.
your eyes. But no, I'd like to get the dry stuff this time. And we're going to build, we got to just, I mean, we live on the top of the mountain with clay. So we need to, you would think, and this is what we talked about. We're like, all these years, I mean, decades, this land has been virgin land. You would think with all of the composting and leaf debris and foliage that lands on the ground, that it would break down and just create this beautiful, rich humus. I think Joel Salatin has a whole video series that he does about this years ago. I mean, looking at 100 years ago, there used to be at least a foot or more of just rich organic soil. Now that our soil on the earth, in the United States, is like down to 3 inches. It's just, we're not taking care of it. And I can't remember the whole premise of his video and all of the education that he has to offer it. But that's just something that he's been able, through proper rotation of his herds and his animals and his gardening practice, he's been able to amend and help build his. And look it up, Joel Salatin on his soil, just like either building soil, or I can't even remember what the name of the video is, but I'll try to find it and link it. Really good information. And that's what's here. We don't have any rich organic matter or humus on the top layers of our soil. We just have clay.
Yeah. And back when we lived in South Carolina, we had to bring in
sand. We had sand.
We had to bring in topsoil,
truckloads and truckloads of organic soil.
And make all of this stuff just, so our fruit trees and our, everything.
Because we had sand there.
Yeah, nothing grows in sand but weeds.
Sand spurs. And so that's one of the things that we have to work on. This year, everyone's like, you got to have a garden. Yes, I do. And I want to grow food. Don't get me wrong. I also know my abilities. And, well, I say I know it. I still overdo. But I'm really trying to focus, and we're focusing on live things first right now. So that is our animal infrastructure, and that is, we're doing better. We're doing much better, but we're nowhere near where we have to be for them to have the best life possible.
Yeah, there's always room for improvement.
Well, one of my main downfalls right now, I think, is our hen to rooster ratio, because I'm a baby and I refuse to I refuse to harvest any of our roosters or rehome them. Our hen to rooster ratio is off and our hens are suffering for it. And that's not cool,
Yeah, we need to put some sunscreen on this summer.
Let's put it this way. If we went to go harvest any of our hens, we wouldn't have much plucking to do. I do have hen saddles for their backs and stuff. But we need to get some we need to get some pullets. We need to get some female chickens to help even out the ratio. We have rehomed a couple of our tom turkeys, so we just have a couple left now.
Yeah, too. They aren't attacking the dogs anymore.
No, they're not attacking the dogs anymore. But I didn't go outside. I don't even think I was here when Gavin came to get the tom, and the two of them didn't pay enough attention, and they grabbed our hen's mate. So she's not happy about that, and she has not decided to pick a new boyfriend. So the one time that we have left, he's just walking around like a teenage boy, and our girl, she's got nothing to do with him.
But one positive note, we had a guinea that was.
Oh, I forgot the guinea story.
Down in the holler.
Wait. You gotta go longer than that.
Okay, well, you do it. I can't.
No. So when we first moved here, we got chickens and guineas and ducks, and we had coyotes that came in and decimated our whole flock. We have two fowl that survived all of that and all this time, the winters and everything, and the wildlife attacking our animals. And that was one guinea out of like 20 and one rooster, scaredy rooster. He looks pathetic. He's the one, if you've been with us from the beginning, that used to, he used to sit on our porch outside the window. He would sneak in the house and get on the computer. He is the one that escaped the fox and was hiding behind the cabin. And he's up here, Scaredy Rooster. He's a survivor for a reason. When we can't find him, where was he that one time when you could find him? Was he in the bag of feed, or he was in the bag of chicken feed hiding?
He's hidden in so many different places that
he's good at surviving. He wouldn't protect the flock, but he would sure hide. He'd survive. So there's him, and there's one lone guinea. Well, this last guinea we tried to catch. He would jump in the cabin, and we thought we got him the other day, and the darn window was open. He jumped out the window, and he had no idea that we had guineas up here. We want more. And I'm like, we need to capture him and bring him up top with us. And we're just like, we felt bad. He's so lonely. He would hang out with the pigs. And Gavin, I said, Gavin, you need to catch the guinea and bring it up here. Because Gavin lives at the cabin, and the guinea loved going in the cabin. And he goes, Mom, I think it's dead. I think it's gone. And I'm like, I was telling Timmy, I said, this breaks my heart. And we were out 2 days ago getting the goats ready to sell. And where were we? Go ahead and tell the story.
Oh, well, I looked over and I knew we had 4 guineas, and the one that was down at the cabin, and I saw 5 guineas. I'm like, well, there you go.
It found us.
It found its way.
It found us. After all this time, the guinea found us, and he is happy as can be.
Yeah.
He's so he found, they're different colors. We have pearl and we have lavender, and the lavender's him. And he found us. And then not only that, so that same moment, Timmy goes, I said, why is there a goat nursing on Maple? And I'm like, she's pregnant. She's due to have a baby. Why is there a goat nursing on her? And I said, well, I guess she came in to milk early. And Timmy goes, wait, what? He goes, how many babies did Kinder have? I said, 3. He goes, well, we have 4 black baby goats. I said, no, we don't. And I'm looking, and sure enough, we had 4 black baby goats. So Maple had her baby, just one buck, and we didn't even know it. And so there you go.
I mean, keep in mind, I go out and feed these animals
twice a day,
morning, and then in the afternoon, and I'm
Lyndon's out there with them,
and I just, boom, it was there.
Well, the babies, they bounce, and they all look exactly the same too. There's little discrepancies in their markings, but anyways, it was just fun. It was a busy, chaotic, eclectic, fun week. And with lots of ups and downs. Lots of ups and downs. Yeah. But in that, so you guys share your stories with me, your farm stories, homesteading stories, gardening stories. It's because that's when we have coffee and chit chat with y'all. It's fun bouncing things back, especially things that we can laugh at after the moment, like that aren't so funny, like me falling, and it really hurt at first, but now sit back. I can just imagine. I videoed the whole thing. You don't see it, but I had my camera in my hand because I was taping Timmy doing the bees. And then you can see the camera just go down, and then like 6 minutes of it watching the clouds. And it's funny. Quite funny at the moment.
I felt really bad because I looked over at her and she was just laying on the ground. And I'm like, do I leave the bees? Do I go help her? Or I don't know what
he stayed with the bees, which is what he needed to do.
I looked back and I saw her getting up, so I'm like, well, she's got to be all right. She's picking herself up off the ground.
I didn't cry though. Just like, oh!
She looked like she got bap right in the nose.
Yeah, then he comes to the back door and he just looks at me.
Oh my!
I have blood all over my face, all over my hands. But yeah, it was a moment. Yeah. Lynn Morgan said, "Since when did you become dad?" Because I kept getting hurt all the time.
Yeah, it's like you got hit in the face with a tape measure.
Yeah, but anyhow. Well, you guys have a blessed Sunday. We gotta go. It's actually cool enough to have our wood cook stove today, so I'm happy. And I started a fire, and I'm gonna cook breakfast. We're gonna have a beautiful breakfast. Well, not beautiful, delicious, yummy.
Yeah.
And all right, we need to take the chicken out. I want to grill some chicken.
Take the chicken out.
One of the things that we need to do, and we'll let you go, is we need to build an outdoor kitchen. That last windstorm decimated our grill. Wrapped it around our pool, took our roofing tin, wrapped it around our trees and truck. And so we got just a little tabletop grill I bought online because we have to have something to cook. We have nothing to cook on when it's not cold. Other than we got a Dutch oven, which is a wonderful thing to cook with, but wind is a huge issue here.
So, I was out feeding the pigs, and I just happened to look over.
Oh, that tree.
And we had a couple of trees fall
with this
with the storm that came through. Of course, we weren't home that day. We were in Bybee.
Yeah.
And there was hail and wind and everything, and I never thought about what the house was going through and what our things were going through here.
We didn't have a clue.
And the animals and all with the rain and the hail. And so anyway, I was out looking, and I seen this massive oak tree that had gotten blown over, and it rang the bell and let me know how powerful the wind is here, because the root ball is probably 10 feet above.
I can't wait to see
10
it.
feet out the ground. And, it's massive.
Mother Nature is ferocious.
And it's ripped right out of the ground. So.
Which we have higher winds here than we ever had in Pawleys.
Yeah.
And then we lived through hurricane season. Mm-hmm. You just don't know. So you do have to secure. That's what the one lady was telling the ranger yesterday. She goes, I have my grill bungee cord to my porch. Well, she grew up here. So now we know.
70 mile an hour winds are pretty common here with a thunderstorm
which is crazy.
Yeah. So.
Well, we had that when we left to go for Timmy's dad's funeral. Gavin messaged us. We had a solid oak table. It was one of those high tables with 4 solid oak chairs around it. It's an indoor dining set, but we used it on our porch, and it completely blew the table and chairs off of our deck. And our grill, which was a stainless steel grill, had a brand new full propane tank in it, and it blew it off the deck. And the wheels were locked. So yeah, wind here is a huge issue. And not only that, all of our construction stuff becomes weapons. The tin, your rakes, your everything becomes a weapon. So you need to be careful. And that's just something that we're going to have to address in the future that we didn't think about.
Yeah.
Another thing we didn't think about. You don't know what you don't know. So we got to go because my coffee's cold and I want
to joining us.
Bye, y'all. Talk to you next week. Oh, that's right before our 2-year anniversary.